All right, guys, y'all already know what it is. The twins here, Lulu
And Lala.
on 103.5 KTU, the beat of New York, and it is a special day.
It sure is.
I am so excited. We have been following this man that's in our studio for a while now.
I think almost stalking.
Yeah, we've been stalking for sure. Now, this guy is so talented. He is a singer. He is a dancer. He's a skater. He's a songwriter. But what I love most about him is his personality.
He's a vibe.
He is a vibe. And of course, we're talking about
Durand Bernarr. How are you?
Your favorite cousin on your daddy's side is in the building.
I love it. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for really being here. We are really just fans of you and your music and your talent. And so, honestly, the way that we even know about you, Lala, I don't know if you want to tell the story.
Yes, actually, it's funny because it doesn't even have anything to do, and this is no offense at all.
I don't know.
Your music, I think I saw a video of you on Instagram, and you were talking to your audience, your fans, and it was what you were saying, like your energy. And I think I was having like a bad day that day, and I'm like, who is this man? Because I need my daily dose of him every day from now on. And then I started to check your page out. I checked out your website, your voice, your music. I'm like, wow, all this time you've existed and I'm just knowing of you. So that's how we first started knowing of you. And I have to say, you are a vibe. And I don't know if you know that, but in case you didn't, I'm just reassuring you.
I'd like to say I'm an experience.
Yes.
Because, a lot of times people try to pinpoint and label things so that they can understand it, and I'd say I'm not meant to be understood. I'm meant to be experienced.
Love it.
So as long as it's a good experience, like I'm good with that.
I love that.
It's been a great experience, and I feel that if I feel this way when I see you and hear your music, so many other people feel the same way. So you're doing so good. But let's talk about everything you have going on right now.
Let's talk about the tour.
Oh my
The
goodness.
Step Into My Office tour. How did this tour come about? Like, when did you wake up and say, you know what? Yeah, I'm going on a tour. Like, how did it all come about?
So originally it was to promote the new project that I'm about to put out, and I was trying to have it out before the summer. So I was expecting to do these songs for this tour, but had to push some things back and do some tweaking. So I decided, because I didn't get a chance to tour on my last album, I'm like, let me just do everything that I've put out in the past 6 years. And I touched everything that everybody wanted to hear. So, and this is my second tour that I've been on. I have a team, a bigger team now. And we're driving around, so we're not flying.
That makes for great memories.
Yeah, no, it feels great. Even like one of my childhood friends is doing my videography, like literally since before the 2 digits, I would say. So it's cool to have a piece of home around.
Yeah, of course.
And this has just been a great experience, just being able to do what I'm good at, what I love, what feels great, bringing people together. Even just hearing how people respond to the audience. Everyone says it's so warm and loving in here. Like, they don't feel like they gotta watch their bag or somebody gonna have an attitude. Like, it's very a family barbecue situation.
Yes,
Love it.
a true experience, like you said. I've seen the videos. I've been jealous. I'm like, I need to be there.
But your new album, you say it's supposed to come out at the end of the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Is that still happening? Can you give us any more details on that? Or just wait.
I mean, as far as sonically, I wanted to get people's shoulders bopping.
Okay.
The last one was a bit more moody, I guess you can say. But this time I wanted to just crank it up a little bit and talk about some other stuff I haven't tackled. The title of it is Wanderlust, which is a head nod to Khalees, because her second album was called Wanderland. But Wanderlust is the desire to travel. And I do that inwardly. So this is just me having a few conversations with some more of my personalities and discovering things about myself, what I need, what I like, what I want, what I don't want, my boundaries, therapy, all that stuff. And then these are the stories that I had to tell with it.
And you've definitely have accomplished so much in your life thus far. I mean, you have a huge following on social media. This is now your second tour. Your album, your last album, #1 R&B, Apple Music. So
That's crazy.
what else is in your bucket list that you want to check off?
And you've worked with a lot of great people in the music industry, Earth, Wind, and Fire. I mean, you're
Erykah Badu. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Ari, K. Tronada, Anderson .Paak. Who else?
not everybody can say that. Like, yeah, I can just call them up and be like, hey, dude, can you help me? Like, it's.
No, that is crazy. Like, just the fact that I get random FaceTimes from Wayne Brady. Like, that is my life now. That's nuts. And
wild.
Everybody loves Wayne Brady. My mother loves
Yeah, who
him.
doesn't love Wayne Brady?
Shout out to Wayne. But yes, I'm just really grateful to have these experiences. I think just the longevity and the consistency that I've been putting in there from being on YouTube, it's kind of like a slow burn, I would say. And a friend of mine had to remind me, because I was telling him how I feel like things aren't picking up like they should. And I was like, I really feel like this is just such a slow burn. He's like, well, baby, of course you're a slow burn. You're the sun, not a match.
Ooh, love it.
So I relish in being able to take my time and let things sit.
Right.
Because now the last album, it's aged, just within the past 2 years, it's aged really well.
Right.
You know, it still feels good. It doesn't feel dated.
Okay. It's going to be like a fine wine.
You know it.
Yes.
Plum wine.
Love it.
Enjoy the process,
Yes.
really.
Yes.
Because we do get a lot of artists coming in here. We get excited for some. Others, we're kind of like, you know how the business is. It can be kind of like weird, a lot of politics. But when we see true talent like you, we get so excited. Just enjoy the process.
Absolutely.
Because what is meant to be will be, and you're living it. You are truly living that. And again, we're so happy. I wanted to go back to social media because you do this thing with the hand.
I
where
love
you
it.
grab
Like you've owned it. You've made it your own.
How did you come up with that? Because it's brilliant.
God, when was the first time that I did that? I feel like I was in the car. I had just came back from paying rent, and I remember I turned on the camera and I had it facing up, and I just grabbed it like, look, y'all. So I went into the bank and I'm paying my rent, and I paid it, and the guy's like, so would you like a receipt? And I said, I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. And that's just kind of where when they say, oh, you grabbed this in the frame. So I kept doing it. So it's every time somebody comes to be like, I love that.
Well, you know what? Here you go.
Yeah.
Here you go.
I love
started
it.
to do that. I'm like, oh my God.
Or when we're having a bad
channeling
day,
him.
we'll be like,
Come on in.
get it together. You also have the earring is one of your something that stands out too. You change it up a bit, and then you'll do videos with it. How did that start? I love it too, because it's like a story with each earring.
I know. I'm trying to figure out how that even came about. I'd have to go back into the arsenal of just content that I've put out. I have to go into the hard drive. Like, when did this start? Because it's been going on for so long now, it's a blur where it began, but it definitely became a story of whatever I was talking about. You know, it's like, y'all, I need y'all to, pull up because we rolling out, or, I read everybody, I got some books, or, anything that would tie into some humor of what I'm saying. Because I feel like I'm low-key a therapist sometimes.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Now I want to
And
bring it all the way back.
Yes.
Your mom was a vocal teacher, right? And your dad always did music. He traveled and stuff. So when you decided you wanted to do music, what did they say? Were they against it? Were they happy about
For
it?
it,
And
yeah.
what was the best advice that they
they've
gave
given
you?
you.
Well, they always poured in and nurtured what it was that I was doing and what I wanted to do. Their undying support was unheard of in certain households, especially if the children were musical, the parents weren't, so they
Right.
didn't understand. They're like, no, you need to get a real job or something realistic. So, gosh, what advice did they give me? I think it was more so just they let me be myself.
Awesome.
They just let me be me. And at 16, when my dad took me on the road with him with Earth, Wind & Fire, and that was my first gig on the road as a production assistant. I was also working with merch. I was also getting, like, busting up the everything, making sure everything was replenished before the end of the night. Just a lot of things. So I got a chance to get the backside of
the full
business.
experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it was 16, like, when I finally realized, because, like I said, music had been a part of
embedded in you.
it, right? And so it really took me serious before I took it serious. So the fact that I had an opportunity to just sit and talk with Philip Bailey and Verdine White and Ralph Johnson, and just getting, this is what you need to do. This is the music, and this is how you get your recording equipment, so on and so forth. And then you fast forward to last year, and I got a chance to actually work with Earth, Wind & Fire. So to go from working for to working with.
Full circle.
Full circle.
Full
It is
circle.
like the flex of my whole career right now, because that is the kind of music that I aspire to make. Like, music that will outlive me. Like, you can't get away from Earth, Wind & Fire.
No, you can't. You definitely can't.
And do you remember?
My boyfriend is a singer too. Huge fan of yours. He has a question though. He used to smoke back in the day in his 20s. He had to stop because it was messing up his voice. So
You
he
smoke weed or
a little bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah. So he wants to know, how do you smoke weed without it affecting your voice? You're always like on point, on key, and he can't do that. It just really messes him up.
I will say this, because I get asked that question a lot. Everyone's voice is different. Everyone's conditioning is different. You're asking someone, like, let's say when you look at Beyonce and say, well, how can she run and sing in heels? That was something she was doing as a child. So it's not something that we just woke up one day and decided, I'm going to do this.
Right.
Now, as far as the smoking part, I don't know what to say. Like, because I started with edibles. He might have to just switch and do edibles.
Okay, there we go.
But I never smoked, like, cigarettes. So I don't know. It's just like, my voice is just built for tough.
Yes, I don't
That's-
think people really understand
Like
how
your range. Your
it
range
is
though.
to have the range. Yeah, you go from falsetto all the way deep, and it's just
That's what she said. Not to me, but what I heard she said.
It's just incredible, and to me, I wish that I can have that, because listening you doing that makes me feel like I'm flying, like if I'm a bird. Or, I don't know if that makes any sense.
And you do
I
it with
love
such
that.
ease.
Yes.
You do it with such ease. Again, I don't know if you answered the bucket list. Is there a specific artist that you hope one day to work with, or you want to do some acting in the future? You want to do, I don't know, clothing? Like, what else is in the bucket list?
So let's see. Well, I would definitely love to work with Solange, Janelle Monáe. I would actually like to see what me and Kendrick could come up with.
Ooh, okay.
Who else? I would like to open my own skating rink.
Let's get into skating.
That would be.
You know, Central Park is having, I don't know if you're going to have time, but Central Park, there's a skating ring right there. They've changed the ice to a skating ring. It's disco, retro, very nice.
It's an oasis.
It's a disco oasis.
Yes, no, we got to write that down. I guess another thing I would like to do is get into some kind of psychology.
Okay.
Because I do like to get down to the root of why we are the way we are. You know, our new phrase that we use in the community now is, let's unpack that.
Let's
Okay.
unpack that.
You know, I like to unpack things. So,
And I feel like sometimes we have to unpack things and not bottle it inside, because that's
Absolutely.
what causes things to just spiral out of control. If we were just be honest with one another
And with ourselves too.
Right. I think that's
Sometimes
the
we don't want to
hardest.
admit to certain things.
I
But I
would
think that's why you
actually-
do so well on social media as well, because you're so honest, and when you speak, you're giving advice, but you're also speaking from the heart, and so it captivates people. And
I would actually like to counter that honesty and exchange it for transparency.
yes,
I feel like, and this is something else that I picked up in therapy, honesty is when you are trying to prove something. But when you are transparent, it's like, I am bearing exactly how I feel, and I'm not thinking. I guess I try to be as kind as I possibly can, but you're also not mincing your words or your feelings. Like if someone said, "I miss you," and you said, "Well, you hurt my feelings, and I had to eat those, so I don't miss you right now. Maybe later, though." Like that's being transparent. So I think it's the transparency. It's the I'm actually having a conversation with you, how I speak, how I approach things. It's very relatable. That's what people gravitate to. They gravitate to the openness, and just being, like I said, being transparent with our story. And you can be there's levels to this transparency as well, you know. But for the most part, as far as the things that I've overcome, or it doesn't hurt to talk about,
right,
then we can deal with that. But when you're going through your own thing, it's about you. But when you get over that, then it can be fair body out.
Yeah. What is your biggest pet peeve when you see, like, with other musicians? Do you have any, like, when you see them do certain things?
Well, I thought you were about to say pet peeve in general, because I was about to say astrology. Okay.
Okay, we'll take that too.
But no, as far as other music, I think people that just don't take their craft serious. It's like if you say you want to do something, or you want to be in this field, but you're not conducting yourself as a student, it's like, I don't know if I can respect that. You know, you're here, you're existing, like I got, you know, but I have to accept it, but I don't have to respect it.
I agree.
Yeah.
We, like I said, we see a lot of things in this. The doors are rotating. We see artists, and there's some that are like
more fixated on things that don't matter or have anything to do with music.
Somebody that's pushing, and it's like, oh my God, there's so much more better talent, and they're not getting what they deserve. So we totally understand. And yeah, it's disrespectful, I think, to true musicians when you see artists that are really not putting in the work, or really taking it serious, or taking it for granted.
Oh, yeah.
That is really strikes a chord with us who are like, oh my God.
Well, you know, anybody that works in radio, they're either frustrated musicians or frustrated singers. So those that can't do radio, you know.
Listen, I hear you. I don't, you know what, now that I think about it, I could actually, another thing on my bucket list, a talk show.
Oh, you'd be great.
Oh, a talk show. Because the studio audience in my head needs to be out in real life.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I definitely see a lot of things happening for you.
Congratulations. We wish you nothing but the best. Keep shining. Keep being that experience for everybody. And if you could make it to the show, if there's any tickets left, go ahead and do so. The information is up on his website. Go ahead and tell them your website.
Oh, yes. That's durandbernarr.com. That's DurandBernarr. And that is Durand Bernarr on Twitter, IG, TikTok. And yeah, just follow if you want to, lower your cholesterol and clear your skin out.